Yeah, I didn't think Gojo was gonna be that weird. I don't blame it. Like, this whole introduction of My Dress Up Darling is this whole concept of this guy creeping out this friends, and yeah, I get it. I get where they're coming from. I just watched the first episode of My Dress Up Darling, or Sono Bisque doll wa Koi wo Soru, a series that is airing in the winter 2022 anime season. It's currently streaming on Funimation. This is my thoughts on the first episode, so let's jump into it. Yeah, definitely one of my most anticipated shows of the winter 2022 anime season was My Dress Up Darling. Just the PV sold me really easily on this being a really good show. I mean, yes, technically a lot surrounding Kitagawa, who is this girl that is essentially into cosplay. Just a very gorgeous animation they put in the PV. Again, another Cloverworks series that I'm hoping, of the 3 shows they're doing in winter, they don't kill themselves, because they're doing a lot of work into really bringing this character to life, obviously selling the viewer on her. But yeah, like I said, I really wasn't expecting it to get as, I guess, pointed about how weird Gojo is. For those that are not aware of this series, it opens up with this guy named Gojo, and as he's younger, he is introduced to these Hime dolls, which are essentially these dolls that his grandfather crafts for his doll shop, and he gets enamored by it. He's like, these are beautiful. She's so gorgeous. I want to make these things. He's not really as good as his grandfather is making these things as he grows up, but he's really good at making the outfits, at least. But yes, the big whole point to this whole thing is really early on, this girl just completely says that he's weird and just leaves him. Which is obviously not good for his self-esteem. As he grows up, he essentially feels like an outcast. He just spends all of his time working on dolls and doesn't really have any friends, because they obviously won't accept him for what he enjoys, which are these dolls. And this leads eventually until we get to this point where his sewing machine breaks, so he decides to do some sewing at the school. Nobody goes there, obviously. Nobody uses the home ec classroom. But anyways, he's making his outfit there, and that's when Kitagawa comes in, the most popular girl in the school. Now, they show this kind of encounter with him watching her while they're in class, when she's kind of interacting with other girls, and it gives him the impression that here's somebody that's really popular, and everybody will accept her for what she does. Like, no matter what, people will accept her. It kind of has the girls bickering about this guy teasing her for having this anime keychain on her bag, and she basically says he's a creep and walked away. So it gives us an indication that she'll tell him tell people what for. But yeah, she walks in on Gojo as he's working on something, sewing it, and she freaks out. And he accidentally tosses this little sewing thing that has this doll head on it, and he catches it, and she just looks at it and just starts freaking out. And he's like, "Oh crap, this is done. I'm done. Somebody has found me out." And she's like, "No, that's incredible. She's so gorgeous." And then she comes to find out that he makes, outfits, and she freaks out, like, "Oh my gosh, look away," and starts stripping down naked. Puts on this little cosplay outfit and says, "Look, I want you to look at this." And she's like, "Oh, look, is this good?" And he's like, "Holy crap, that looks terrible." Completely just reams her a new one with how bad of a job that she did seaming this entire outfit up. Like, not even using backstitching or anything like that, just single stitching all the way down. Then she kind of is embarrassed by the whole situation, but she ends up asking him, like, "Look, I am really into cosplay, and I would love to cosplay as this specific character, Shizuku Kiroi." And so she asks him, "Can you make this outfit?" And he finally agrees to it. He's like, "Look, I only make dolls, but I'll try. I mean, no promises." And she's super happy about this. So obviously the startings of a fun little relationship. And it was cute because it's also kind of pointing out this idea that despite him thinking that this girl can be accepted for whatever she wants, she's obviously keeping this secret from everybody. That she loves cosplay, and that she obviously doesn't think that people accept her for liking cosplay. And it kind of left with a weird note. And the fact that she notes the idea that this character that she wants to cosplay as so badly is Shizuku Korei, the saint of Slippery's Academy for Girls, the young ladies of the Humiliation Club, Debauchery, Miracle Life 2. And he didn't like that. So I'm guessing he's just kind of like... It seems like it was translated weird, but he's basically just saying, "What the hell did she just say?" I don't think it's going to be that he's connected to it in any way. But yeah, a lot of noting of 2 other characters, especially in the OP, which I'm assuming one of those 2 characters is probably going to be the girl that rejected Gojo when he was young. That girl's coming back. They put her in 2 scenes of I think it was 3 scenes of her rejecting him when he was young. This girl's coming back. She probably just dyed her hair, obviously. Rather than it being black, she went like some weird pink color, so salmon. salmon color. Salmon color in? Is salmon color in right now? But no, like I said, I think the biggest shock that I had, I mean, obviously it played heavily on Kitagawa being an absolute goofball the moment she realized that he can make these outfits, and she kind of revealed to him that she likes cosplaying. So it was good to get this goofy side of her. We were obviously kind of expecting her to have a goofy side, even though she's extremely popular. But seeing how creepy Gojo is whenever he sees these dolls, I'm like, I don't blame these girls. Girl, dude, you look creepy. Got that whole kind of looking at lewd stuff on his face. I don't know. It was weird. But man, I put it down in my notes. Can we talk about this girl getting some air? Like, what the hell happened to her in that classroom? This girl was like literally a foot above his head, flying through the air and hit her head on his desk. Like, the hell did she do? Like, I didn't know that. Was she standing on the desk next to him? I don't know what happened. Like, it made it out like she fell, but I don't know. Maybe it was just them over-exaggerating it. But holy crap, that girl was in the air and she came down. I was like, girl's dead. That was a bad hit. It's a tragic story. We'll find out, like, towards the season finale that she actually had a concussion. She never got it checked out, and she ended up dying. I'm sorry. That was bad. I was expecting it, but it is, I guess, important to note that there is a little bit of ecchi in here. I mean, some good ecchi, but obviously she kind of jumps around and doesn't really, I guess, seem to have any sort of blockers on what she's doing. She seems obviously like she's self-conscious of her showing herself to people, but it doesn't seem like when she's bouncing around happy that she really does care anybody sees anything. But I guess that's the whole Gyaru thing. She really is okay with, I guess, showing enough skin, but at the same time is embarrassed when it's actually too far up past those borders. So, but she's definitely cute. Love her introduction. Was a lot, like I said before, a lot more surprised about how much I enjoyed Gojo's introduction. And I think the two of them are going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to this kind of pairing. I think they're just going to be goofballs together. And so far, the chemistry is just working solid for this series. And I think a lot of that I think the chemistry is really going to work out well because it's a mixture of both just Gojo's goofiness, but he's also extremely blunt. He's blunt about what he says, and he doesn't really have any sort of blockers. And I think that's going to work really well for Kitagawa because obviously a lot of people just kind of agree with her, and she's a little bit sharp-tongued, but she also has a side of her that she's confiding in him. So I am actually curious if it's going to be one of those things where she's always going to want to keep it secret, or if it's going to come eventually where she's going to want to kind of bring it out to everybody else and not really care. And I think it's probably going to come around, something's going to kind of come at Gojo in the classroom or something, and she's going to be the one to step in and defend him. Like, they find out that he has an outfit or something, or something frilly in his bag, and she's gonna come in and say, he's making that for me, what of it, kind of thing. So, but we'll see. It looks really cute. They look like they're gonna be fun together. But that's my thoughts on the first episode of my Dress Up Darling. Really looking forward to more episodes of this. If you like this impressions, please hit that like button down below and let me know what you thought of the episode if you're gonna be checking it out. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I will be covering all the shows of the winter 2022 anime season, as well as covering some shows on a weekly basis. But I definitely thank you guys for checking this video out. Additionally, if you want to support our channel, if you go down in the description, there is a tips link and as well as a Patreon. We definitely appreciate everybody that supports us. I thank you all for watching, and y'all take care.